What is up, YouTube? Am I even on? Am I live? I don't even know what's going on right now. Check here. What's up? So, one person's watching, and I believe it's me. Let's make sure I'm live. I want to make sure everything's working fine before I start blabbing on. Yeah, we're here. 2 people are watching. Make sure I'm live. I want to make sure everything's working fine. 4 people are watching. All right, here we go. Just close that. Okay, hey, what's up? Sorry about all that early confusion. Just me being a dummy. It's been a while since I've been on YouTube. I got my phone here so I can see comments if anyone wants to write any comments or talk about what we're going to do here this evening, this early evening. Oh man, I already got to wet the whistle. Jesus Christ. Hi, welcome to Get Into It with Jason Hook, with me, your host, Jason Hook. And as you probably saw by the title, I went crazy during the Vinegar Syndrome halfway to Black Friday sale. And this came today. Woo. And we're going to open this live. And I think I forgot some of the stuff I bought. If you guys don't know, what they do is it's a sale, movies that go on sale. And they it goes on for like 3 or 4 days. It's like a Memorial Day weekend. And then they close the store and they ship stuff out. So it's been like 5 weeks, maybe almost 6. I don't even know. And then they do this every year. It takes them a long time to get it done. I don't get bent about it. Some people get really mad. I get a little aggravated, but not mad. I know it's going to come eventually. But it came today, which is awesome because I'm going on vacation soon. And I was mortified that I would have to end up on my steps or on my front porch or some shit for days and days getting destroyed because I spent a bunch of money because I'm out of control. So let's catch up. For anyone who has never watched this or seen my channel before, my name is Jason. I collect records and movies and tapes and CDs of punk hardcore and weird, crazy stuff. The glare in my glasses is really like distracting me when I'm talking, but whatever. If anyone's watched my videos before too, you know that I just don't edit shit. I don't have a cool intro. I'm just pretty lazy about that kind of stuff, but that's just because it's just me. I own a bunch of shit. I've never stopped buying shit. I'm a little bit out of control. I need to chill, but whatever. So that's me. I went to a show last night. I saw Vision Video last night, and it was awesome. If you guys dig like sad, dancey goth music, I would say check them out. Well, let's get to the point of the video here. I was gonna play some music in the background, but I don't know if anyone in the comments or anything knows. Like, I think StreamYard can be weird about music, so I just didn't want to do it. So, and there's my phone making noise. Here we go. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see what we got here. Look at this. The return of the knife. Yeah, so I've been waiting on this, and I was literally scared shitless that it wasn't gonna get here in time. And I got to go away for a week for work. And I did not want to have it be left. I was going to put a stop in the mail, but even then I was still freaking out because I just really want these and I spent a lot of money on them. 5 viewers, we're teaming out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull, I'll do the quick look. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull these bags out and then I'm just going to pull them out of the bags. And there's some stuff in here that you guys might know. There's some stuff in here that I don't even know. There's some stuff here that was actually like suggested to me from people I know. So I was just kind of decided I was going to check it out. I think it's about 20 movies. 20 movies and maybe a cassette. The cassette goes along with the movie, so we'll throw that right here for now. So we'll do bag number 1. Are you ready? Sorry for the dead air. I had today off, and I thought I'd be like have energy, but I don't. Literally, I almost canceled and was going to do this tomorrow because I just wasn't feeling it. I've been watching a lot of DuckTales with my son, so I wanted to get back to that. But all right, here we go. So the first movie we have here is Death Machines. This is something I grabbed because I thought it just looked cool and weird. Oh, I'm getting ads. Hold on, guys. Must have tripped something. There we go. I believe this is a kung fu film. Yeah, part kung fu film, part revenge thriller, and part sci-fi horror. It just looks insane. And Vinegar Syndrome is known for insane movies. And this is an older title. So this sale, what I did was I actually went back and I just bought a lot of older titles. Where in the future, I'm probably not going to be buying this many movies and at a shot. But this time I kind of filled the back catalog a little bit. But that's Death Machines. Can't wait to watch that. These are movies most of these I'm going to have to watch by myself because my wife has little to no interest in them. Like this one, Night Beast. This is another one. This is a trauma-related film. This thing looks completely fucking insane and bad, but bad in a good way. His hands will tear through flesh and bone. Like, look at that thing. Rubber mask galore. And amidst a dazzling meteor shower, the Night Beast lands near a small East Coast town, armed with his vaporizing ray gun and goal of killing everyone who crosses his path. As area residents are blasted to smithereens, the local sheriff and ever-dwindling group of survivors become determined to figure out a way to defeat this fearsome alien before their entire community is wiped out. A dazzling display of lo-fi ambition from Baltimore-based cult filmmaker and underrated auteur Don Dohler, Alien Factor Fiend, Night Beast immediately plunges the viewer into a frenzy of wildly colorful and stunning animation techniques, homemade gore effects, and awkward sexual encounters. Made for a scant $14,000 and featuring a soundtrack partially composed by then teenage J.J. Abrams, Star Trek, Star Wars, Episode 7 or 8. Vinegar Syndrome proudly brings this regional sci-fi horror classic to Blu-ray in a brand new 2K restoration of its 16mm camera original. Yeah, so this is Night Beast. I heard it sucks. It looks like it sucks, but I think I'll be super entertained by it. What do we got here? 81 minutes. I have 81 minutes I can spend on something like Night Beast. All right, all right, here's another one. Here you go. I've never seen this, and I keep on hearing that I should see it. It's Christmas Evil, another older title. Same thing as Night Beast and Death Machines. These are all older Vinegar Syndrome titles. I mean, the spines are 143, 277, and number 60. Christmas Evil is number 60. Christmas Evil is a low budget, as you can probably tell by the name, Christmas time slasher movie. Again, it looked amazing, and you can tell this is an early Vinegar Syndrome release because just the layout is, they kind of have this follow a similar layout for a lot of their movies, and this one is completely different looking. But yeah, so when he was a boy, Henry idolized Santa Claus, but one Christmas Eve, he witnessed something horrifying that forever shattered his innocent understanding of Santa. Now an adult, Henry wants to embody the pure Santa Claus he grew up loving. He works at a toy factory and keeps records of who's been naughty and nice, but the spirit of Christmas isn't what it used to be, and he can't take it. So garbed in his red suit, Harry decides that the only thing he can do is become Santa himself and make all the naughty townspeople pay in blood. Vinegar Syndrome is proud to present Louis Jackson's cult favorite Christmas Evil, newly restored in 4K and Blu-ray for the first time. So, yeah, Christmas Evil. So that I might actually just save this till Christmas. I bought so many movies. This might just go in the watch around Christmas time pile. How's the glare? How's everything looking? It looks foggy to me, but I mean, that's what it is. What's up, guys? Killing for Company rules. Go watch his channel. My man Rick McDonald over here. We got High Defamation TV. Watch the new episode, Eric Bauer. It's great. The algorithm buried it because YouTube's probably burying this one too, but it's just because mine sucks. His stuff's actually good, so you should go check it out. But anyways, we'll continue here. Next, I have Night Train to Terror. Another crazy impulse buy I made. Like, I just kept going back and some of these were marked down like so low, and like I worked a ridiculous amount of overtime leading up to this. So I was just like, I'm gonna buy some. I'm just gonna try to stock out my collection, and I'm gonna stock out my collection and just try to fill it out. So here we got Night Train to Terror. Aboard a fast-moving train bound for hell, God and Satan decide the fates of the three unfortunate mortals. And Harry, a fiendish killer, keeps the horribly mutilated body parts of his countless victims in a diabolical torture chamber. And Greta, a young woman obsessed with death, takes part in an unspeakable ritual of Russian roulette. Finally, and Claire, a young woman and a Holocaust survivor, are terrorized by the son of Satan. Night Train to Terror comes to you in home video for the very first time in its original aspect ratio and restored in 22K from 35mm film elements. And I believe this movie also has like a band in it, and there's like ridiculous music that's shitty but earwormy. So that's another reason. But yeah, this is another like 90-minute just dumbass fucking slasher. I mean, it was in 1980. 85. I was 3. Bonus features, theatrical trailer. You ever watch these like low budget movies and there's like theatrical trailers and you're like, where the fuck was that played? Unless it was like, in a grindhouse theater or something like that. Like I can't imagine turning on the TV in 1985 and seeing a Night Train to Terror trailer or Christmas Evil trailer, 1980, 82, 76. Yeah, we're really delving the late 70s, early 80s here, just a fine cinema of the time. The next, this was another one that I've seen get really high praises, and it's like they have tons of them. And I watched a preview, and it was fucking unreal. It actually has its own theme song too, and that's Death Promise. And this has here's our first official slipcase. Filthy rich landlords get away with murder. It's time they pay for it. So this appears to be like a kung fu action movie where tenants in a building band together to fight the landlord and henchmen they hire to kick them out so they can redevelop the property. I mean, that sounds very 2022. This is 1977. But the residents of a dilapidated New York tenant building are being harassed and threatened by Iguana Realty, the dummy corporation which owns the land, in an effort to force them out of their homes. But when karate master Charlie's father is murdered by a group of thugs hired by the landlords, he decides to take matters into his own hands. Enlisting the help of his best friend, fellow fighter Speedy, and driven by a desire for vengeance, they soon develop a plan to murder each board member of the Iguana Realty. I almost said reality. However, what they don't realize is that their final target is someone much closer to home. A genre-blending grindhouse classic that perfectly embodies the mid-70s, NYC lensed exploitation film aesthetic, Robert Warmflash's Death Promise oozes sublime 70s sleaze from beginning to end, starring Charles Bonnet, don't go in the house, alongside Speedy Lecoq, stuntman Thompson Cao Kang, the Black Dragon, and martial arts film legend Tony Liu, I probably know I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry, Way of the Dragon. Vinegar Syndrome is proud to present the worldwide Blu-ray debut of Death Promise, newly restored in 2K from its original 35mm camera negative. So yeah, that's Death Promise. This has a song that's like a kind of a disco song that's fucking unreal. That immediately sold me in the preview. But again, this is another earlier title. Well, not really 350, but there's so many of these still available, which is weird because everything I read, like other movie YouTubers and other like Vinegar Syndrome enthusiasts, were just like totally into like just said this was like a really good movie. A really entertaining movie and totally underrated. So fuck it, I bought it. That's Death Promise. The next is also the first box set. I believe there's a handful of this, 2 or 3 of them, I believe in here, maybe 2, and that is the Cardona collection #1. So this is 3 movies: Treasure of the Amazon, Triangle, The Bermuda Mystery, and Cyclone. So this is really cool. These are what I believe my man Simon from Explosive Action might consider like jungle horror. Yeah, that's cool. The art's cool. They do so like that's the thing about these movies is they just take these films that would probably be forgotten forever and like spice them up and like make this shit and suckers like me want to buy it because I've got a cool slipcase. But yeah, so there's 3 of these. I'm not gonna read. I'm not gonna bore everyone to death with the fucking the outline of all three movies that are in here. But it's just Rene Cardona Jr. was a king of Mexican exploitation cinema throughout the 70s and 80s, directing dozens of films in a variety of genres and taking creative inspiration from the most popular trends in American and Italian genre cinema. Vinegar Syndrome presents the Cardona Collection, Volume 1, containing 3 of his violent, horror-tinged adventure and disaster movies, all newly restored from the original negatives. So there's 3 movies here, 78, I think, to 84. I can't read this. I should have probably get glasses or some shit. Oh, wait, I do have glasses. It's 78, 78, and 84. So there's just 3, like, just kind of crazy jungle, stabby, probably not PC with native depiction, slasher, adventure films. But yeah, this was cool. And, like, there was a ton of these. These might have sold out, but for a while, there was a ton of these, and it was cheap. For 3 movies. Again, this would be something I'll probably end up watching on my own. I don't know if my wife will enjoy any of these. She might. I don't even know if she's watching right now. She's not home. But she is. Hi, Jen. She'll be home shortly. You might hear them come in. My little nutjob son might make an appearance. Who knows? Kick down the door and show up. All right. Next, we have the movie that I've seen once a long time ago, and it's not good. And I got suckered in by the Vinegar Syndrome, putting a slip on a movie that we've had tons of stock for, and that is Hobgoblins. Now, this is all like kind of blurred out. I know my camera isn't the best, or my glare, because I just don't. I'm lazy and don't put effort into making things look nice, which I probably should if I start doing this again. But this thing is just awesome looking. It's probably better than the movie, to be blunt with you. Hobgoblins is just a zany. I don't know if it's, to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure if it's like purposely funny because it's been such a long time since I've seen it. But this is 1988. Kevin just got hired to be the assistant night watchman at an old film vault. Warned to stay out of one mysterious chamber, the rookie guard can't help but satisfy his curiosity and unwillingly unleashes a group of hobgoblins, furry aliens who grant people wishes only to kill them in the process. As the body count starts to rise, Kevin, with the help of his friends, decide to track down the deadly creatures before they wreak havoc on the city. Director Rick Sloan's cult classic and Mystery Science 3000 fan favorite is a sleazy, low-rent tribute to creature features and drive-in fare. Long available only in tape-sourced editions, Vinegar Syndrome presents Hobgoblins on Blu-ray, newly restored from its original 35mm camera negative. But yeah, so I mean, I remember Mystery. I think I saw this on Mystery Science Theater 3000, and then maybe saw it on a tape. I know I've seen it, but it's been forever. I mean, probably like midnight. I mean, when was Mystery Science Theater around? Maybe I saw this before Mystery Science Theater and then saw it on that later and was like, oh, wait, I remember that movie. It sucks. And then here we are in 2022, and I'm fucking buying it because it's got a cool slip. But yeah, I believe this Vinegar Syndrome, what they do sometimes is if there's a title that I think is, I mean, I'm not going to guess this, but they will create slips for existing titles that maybe they weren't selling that great. I mean, I don't want to, that's just my guess, but yeah, Hobgoblins. I did not, Eric, hold on. Let's see if I can get this to work. I did not get Psycho Cop 2 because I went back and it was sold out. And that was my fault. But we'll see if it appears or if it comes back, but I'm sure I'll grab one. Have I seen Psycho Cop? Yeah. Well, you'll see a couple other missed opportunities in this because there's 2 movies that, if you guys have been watching or keeping up with the Vinegar Syndrome videos that have been popping up since he's been hitting mailboxes, there's 2 one box set and another one that I did not get because I just fucking, I don't know why I didn't get them. I should have. One is sold out. It's like $40 million on eBay right now. And the other one I think there's a ton of, so I'll just wait till actual Black Friday. That's the thing with like me and movies is I buy a lot of movies, but I tend to wait till they're on sale and then I go bonkers, which is kind of silly. I should probably be a little more controlling with my obsession with doing this stuff, but I'm not. So I just wait. I'll save up some money and I'll just wait for the Black Friday sale, which is gonna be tough because it's Christmas. So I think the halfway to Black Friday sale in the future might be like my jam for grabbing films because it's May. Christmas time is tough, especially because I spoil my child. Like, I mean, I fully admit it. I buy him tons of shit. So I'd rather buy him some toys than a movie. I can get movies whenever I want. Anyways, let's not get into Jason Hook Parent, which I'll probably roping up several more times during this. Next, double feature: Hard Rock Zombies and Slaughterhouse Rock. Again, this is also a similar thing for me. The slipcase kind of sold me because I just think it looks cool. Like, look at that, that's cool. Movies don't look that great, but I'm a sucker for just the weird mix of like metal or rock or just like general like when they put punks into horror movies or action movies or whatever, because it just seems insane. Like I get a big kick out of that. Like whenever I'm watching a movie and there's a scene with like this some sort of like, you know, punk-esque characters, I'm always pointing it out. There was a book that came out that was all about punks in film that I missed. You know, same thing with me in Psycho Cop 2. I never pre-ordered, and now it's like impossible to buy. And when you do see it, it's like a mortgage payment. But anyways, so there's two movies on here. So you get Hard Rock Zombies and Slaughterhouse Rock. I believe is 85 and 87, 97 minutes and 85 minutes. With the explosion of heavy metal and new wave music in the mid-'80s, it was inevitable the horror filmmakers would seize the opportunity to combine these popular music stylings with blood and mayhem. While numerous such tie-ins were produced, none were freaked out and gore-soaked as this foot-stomping duo presented fully uncensored and newly restored in this 2-disc Blu-ray set by Vinegar Syndrome. So, yeah, that's exactly, like Eric just nailed, like, you're putting words in my mouth that describe it better than I can. I'm not expecting, like, life-changing film. I'm just expecting to be entertained by like dudes in leather jackets cutting heads off. I mean, is that fair? You know. Again, is another ad. Sorry, guys. There's no punk records today. We're just gonna. I'm doing movies right now. I'll come back with records eventually. I never stop buying. So I just gotta. My room's a mess. This is like the nice area. I mean, you guys can tell behind me, it's not the most kept area, but you need to see over here. It's just books and zines and records and CDs and tapes. It's ugly. It's ugly. But anyways, yeah. So this is two just horror movie slasher type movies that involve like metal and new wave. The preview sold me on it, and it's got a slip. I mean, it's got a slip. Oh, another box. So next is another one. This is similar to Hobgoblins. Here was another movie that was like one they had lying around, and they made a cool slip for it. So I bought it. It's Graduation Day. And this is another one I see popping up a lot in people who do like Vinegar Syndrome reviews or buy stuff from them as like a good movie. Like this is actually good. Not, I mean, good is it's better. It's entertaining. And I watched a preview to this too. I watched the previews for all of these after I went on my spree. The class of 81 is running out of time. After death of a high school track star during a race, a mysterious fencing mask wearing killer begins murdering her friends and teachers. Who could the killer be? Her disgruntled coach, her angry sister, her violent boyfriend? As the bodies pile up, a twisted mystery unfolds, slowly revealing itself as it moves toward its bloody climax. One of the quintessential high school set slasher films of the early 80s, newly restored in 4K and presented in its original aspect ratio for the very first time. Graduation Day. I mean, that just looks cool too. Like these films, so I'm going to take a little quick breather here from talking about like what I got here and just kind of bring up. So when I was, people who know me as like the hardcore guy or the punk record collector, I was also heavily into horror movies and like really bad action films in my early teens into my 20s, and I kind of like backed off because I didn't have money or time to like actively go out and buy them for a long time. And now that I'm like financially, like I'm independently wealthy, just from making investments in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, I now can buy movies and everything I want whenever I want. Um, because I just made wise investments and through an Instagram ad. Um, but I'm just opening the rest of these too. So like now I just buy dumb shit even more so than I did before. But I am a little bit better. Like I said, I wait like you still got all this shit to go through. I wait till stuff's on sale. I've been collecting for such a long time too with like records. It's like I know dudes that like are like also record collectors and movie collectors, and we make deals. We grab shit for each other. It's just kind of like I'm the old man. I've moved past like young kid with that was spending money to old man who actually owns a lot of stuff. So like I can just call a friend and be like, "Hey, do you have a copy of that record?" As opposed to having to dig, which is like up and down for me. Sometimes I like digging. Sometimes I'm just not into it. I don't want to pay eBay and Discogs full prices for shit all the time. I think a lot of us like really mentally ill collectors are on the same page like that. To be honest, like sure we we still use like the internet tools that are available to us, but like we're so just deep into collecting that it it's just it's a small group when it gets to that point. And here this guy, hey, here's this guy. And next I'm going to show something that he recommended, which is the Tiger Claws 1 through 3 box set. Little Billy Blanks is also numbered number 4537 out of 5,000. Oh, here we go. Before I get into this, let's talk about this guy too. So me and Mike grew up together way back in like the crazy 90s, pre-millennium, and we used to just watch movies and go to Blockbuster all the fucking time. Like we both worked at the same job for a while, and we'd go to the Blockbuster. We worked at a pizza place, and there was a Blockbuster in the same strip mall, and we would just go there and rent movies. And we were like, after we got out of work and stuff. So that's cool. So Mike's a movie guy. Did you go as nuts as I did? I know this might be boring for people who don't like movies, but whatever. I saw the Henry Rollins Liar video, sleeping over Mike's house, and I went and bought the shirt shortly after that at a t-shirt store in the mall called Specialties, and they just reprinted that shirt. Someone bootlegged it. I almost bought another one because I just wanted to have it back. But anyways, I went off. So Tire Claws. This is Tire Claws 1 through 3. These are action Billy Blank's kung fu karate movies with Cynthia. Make sure I say her name right before everyone wants to fight me. Tarek Richards, which is Jalal Murhai. Cynthia Rothrock. I knew it was Rothrock. I just wanted to make sure. So Billy Blanks and Jalal made like a million movies together. Not all of them good. Entertaining, yes. High quality, no. No, I wouldn't say. But I don't know if VS got some sort of exclusive to just pull all their stuff out of like just get like exclusive like manufacturing and distribution rights to Billy Blanks and Jalal movies because they've done a ton of them. This also stars I'm like just spacing on names. I should have done a little bit of better research on here, but I didn't. Carter Wong's in here, who's in Big Trouble in Little China. Simon, what's his name? What's this guy's name? I can't remember it. I'm spacing. Bolo Young. So sorry guys. Yeah, but this is just great. These look great. Bolo Young was in Bloodsport, just so you guys, if you want to put the face to the guy. These just look amazing. They look like absolutely unreal, like just 80s higher budget than you would think, but not enough to like be like big, huge hits in the theater type action films, karate films. I'm not going to read every single movie because that's boring. I'll just read the first one, Tiger Claws. When the bodies of local martial arts masters keep turning up with mysterious claw marks in their skin NYPD detective and martial arts enthusiast Tarek Richards, Jalal, is put on the case, tasked with trying to stop these killings. Richards is teamed up with a new partner, the no-nonsense Linda Masterson, Cynthia Rothrock, who is quite capable of defending herself in a fight. Together, they must track down the mysterious serial killer and uncover the secret behind an ancient martial arts technique known as Tiger Claws. So, yeah, I mean, how fucking... And there's 3 of them. I believe this box set also sold out too, and it was cheap as hell for 3 movies. Like, that's why I grabbed, I'm showing new stuff here. That's why I grabbed, like, the Cardona collection too, because there's 3 movies in here. Some of they were almost as expensive as some of these are single. Same thing with the double with the Slaughterhouse Rock and the Hard Rock Zombies. It's 2 movies, and it was like the price of 1. So I just wanted to grab these because that's a lot of like, I know it's going to take me a really long time to watch all this, and honestly, most of this might not really get. Some of it's going to be taken in very quickly, like once I get back from being away. But some of this is going to hold off until later, probably winter, because that's when I do, or fall. That's when I do a lot of my watching, because it's just kind of dead time to me. I'm just sorting here. These all got flips. That's when I do a lot of my watching, because I just hate cold and I just don't want to go outside, and my job also makes me go outside when it's cold, and when I get home from doing that, I just don't want to do anything else. So I watch a lot of movies and listen to a lot of records. TC2000 was great. I really like TC2000. I believe that was another Simon mention. Did you tell me about that, Eric, or did Simon? I know it was one of you guys. Again, if you guys aren't subbed to High Definition TV, Eric, or Explosive Action Simon, like, you're an idiot. Especially Simon with movies and stuff. He buys. I think him and I, for buying records and like physical media, are probably equal, but he actually makes videos. Mine just end up in boxes in my car, or talked about in chats, or posted on Instagram. He actually makes update videos fairly regularly. And Eric needs to come back too. If Eric makes another video, I'll make another video, because I'm just going to force him to do stuff now. But so anyways, let's move on to the rest of the grabs here. Let me just get all this crap ready so I can. Are you guys bored to death? Is this bad? I mean, I don't know. I just want to go through this box. I was excited about this. I know this kind of stuff's not for everyone. There is a music related thing coming up soon though. But anyway, so here we go. I grabbed this. So they do a thing called partner labels through Vinegar Syndrome, and like, just to be blunt with you guys, I'm not 100%. I don't know if they like pitch in and like if they just distribute these titles, or they let these companies use like the Vinegar Syndrome like crew to help fix, like, clean up the video, the releases they have, or something like that nature. I really don't fully know. I should have looked it up, but I didn't. So they have Vinegar Syndrome movies, which is like put out by Vinegar Syndrome, and then they also have a thing called partner labels, which is other movies which technically aren't Vinegar Syndrome movies, but they're related in a way. I mean, I'm sure Simon or Eric might know, or even Mike might know. I'm not sure. But so this was one of the movies I bought from the partner label thing during the sale, and it was because it was on sale. It was super cheap. It's a DVD. This is going to be horrible to watch, but it's Blood Lake, which is on AGFA, which I hear everyone say wrong all the time. So I'm probably saying it wrong. I need to put a light on. I should have done that. You're going to be a butthole this weekend, or are you going to let me drink, Little Tony? But so this just looked like a shot on video, probably not early 90s. Let's see if I can find a year. No, it was on 3/4 tape. Wow, and edited on 1-inch tape. This transfer is taken from the original 1-inch master tapes. Blood Lake, it's 1987. It's 82 minutes. Blood Lake is the most fascinating and stupefying shot on video slasher that ever escaped from 1987. A group of unhinged party animals, including adolescent horn dog Little Tony, embark on a weekend filled with jet skis, a keg of bush, and an extended game of quarters. But look out, there's a supernatural killer on the loose who wears cowboy boots and a silk shirt with a rose stitched in it. Made by real-life friends from Oklahoma on a real-life vacation, Blood Lake is a rewardingly lethal collision of 80s slasher video vomit and twisted cinema verte madness. From false metal soundtrack hits to gratuitous scenes of people sleeping, this might be the only movie in history capable of receiving a stamp of approval from both David Lee Roth and Andy Warhol. So, yeah. So this just looks like fucking... This is not. I don't think this is gonna be good in like the good, like bad good way for me. It's on DVD. I think this was like $4, and there's only a handful left. I was just kind of scrolling last minute sales. It's like things that, and I was like, I'll grab this. There's another one I didn't grab, but I forgot the name of it, so we're not going anywhere with this. This next one was, man, this is like making videos is hard. Yeah, I think they get the slips made. I think they might be something to do with like they might let them like edit like bonus features or some shit. I know there's some, and they distro them. I think. I mean, someone probably knows more than me. Is probably going to comment on this like, oh, actually, wow. I'm sorry, dude. I just know they're not Vinegar Syndrome direct releases. Put that on the list. Yeah, that's something I wanted to grab too, but I grabbed one thing from the partner sale. So this sale ends for the month of June, the store is closed, and they do it's only partner stuff for sale because they've got to pack these up because it's a small run organization here. So I bought one thing, and I mean, whatever. It's not here. It's the Polly doc from the singer of the X-Ray Specs, who was just a great band. I really wanted to see that documentary. They just put a bunch of heavy other stuff too. Heavy Metal Parking Lots on there. I might have to wait till I get back before I buy that because I just can't be spending money really. But anyways, let's continue. This next one was my wife wanted to see this, and I kind of did too, which is Drop Dead Fred. So I saw this movie. Like, what year did this come out? 1991. So I was 9, 10 years old when this was probably on VA, like on home rental. And I saw this more than once, and I remember very few parts of it. I remember, cobwebs, like that whole thing, the flathead. I remember that. I'm willing to bet I'm super going to enjoy this now watching it because I think it's one of those movies that when I was 9 or 10, I laughed at certain things, and now that I'm I'll be 40 next month, 39 and 8/10. 9/10. I'm probably gonna think things are even funnier. There's probably things I totally were when I was 9 years old. But dishes, relationships, wind. This guy breaks everything. But yeah, it's Rick Mayall from The Young Ones. But Elizabeth's life is in shambles. Her husband just dumped her for another woman. Her car has been stolen, which causes her to arrive late for work only to get fired. And her overbearing mother has convinced her to move back home. One night when she can't sleep, Elizabeth happens upon the small box which housed her childhood imaginary friend, Drop Dead Fred, who used to come to cause all kinds of mischief. But when Elizabeth opens the box, causing Fred to reappear, she is drawn to a raucous series of new, highly destructive and hilarious adventures. Although derided by critics upon its initial release, A.T. Jong's Drop Dead Fred has since become a cult favorite, earning a hearty reputation as one of the hardest and most unhinged family quote-unquote films to ever emerge from a major studio, starring Phoebe Cates, Rick Mayall, Marsha Mason, and Tim Matheson, and featuring Carrie Fisher. Vinegar Syndrome presents the U.S. Blu-ray debut of Drop Dead Fred from a fresh 2K restoration and featuring loads of new and exclusive interviews and extras. So yeah, this is going to be cool. Comedy. I know I saw this probably 4 times, 5 to probably 10 times when I was a kid, renting it from the store. But yeah, it's Drop Dead Fred. Again, a slip, so I'm sold. So I'm going to save that one for next. Next, we have another movie I saw when I was younger and have not seen since, and that my wife was actually interested in seeing, who's home now. You guys come in. Maybe we'll get a cameo from my little terror. This movie will actually be about him, which is The Beastmaster. Again, in a slip. The epic adventure of a new kind of hero. This came in a really cool, like, magnetized box, which I didn't get because I slept on, because I just love sleeping on stuff and not getting it when it comes out. But this is the Beastmaster. This comes in the 4K, Ultra HD, and the Blu-ray. I don't have a 4K player, so we'll be watching this in the regular good old blue. I'm not a big 4K guy. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure some movies will look good in 4K, but like one of the things for me in 4K that is kind of like a like thing for me is like some of these movies I don't think are meant to be in 4K. If you know what I mean. But anyways, this is the Beastmaster, super crazy 80s like what was this 82, great year. Um, when he was a baby, Dar and his royal family were cursed by an all-powerful wizard named Max with two A's. To prevent him from rightfully ascending to the leader of his people. Stolen from his parents and about to be sacrificed, Dar is rescued by a kind villager who raises him as his own. While training with his adopted father, Dar realizes the curse has left him with a unique gift, the ability to telepathically communicate with all forms of animal life. Years later, Max returns with the help of a violent band of marauders known as the June to all but wipe out Dar's tribe, leaving him to fend for himself. Accompanied by his animal and human friends, Dar sets out on a quest of vengeance to destroy Max and June and return peace to the land before it's too late. Directed by legendary genre filmmaker Dan Coscarelli. Just want to make sure I say that right. And co-starring Tanya Roberts and John Amos and Rod Loomis. The Beastmaster is a thrilling mix of fantasy, action, and adventure, with touches of horror. Photographed by award-winning cinematographer John Alcott, and featuring incredible production design by Conrad Angon, Vinegar Syndrome Ultra brings the Beastmaster to 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray and brand new 4K restoration. So yeah, this is another one I've seen. I'm guessing probably late 80s, early 90s, and I have not seen since. It's probably been almost 30 years since I've seen this. So I'm stoked to just see it and see it on like super cleaned up. Like again, I know Blu-rays. Yeah, Blu-ray's fine with me. I just don't have a 4K player, and I don't know. I mean, I'll get one eventually. I mean, I just really upped to Blu-ray. Not that, I mean, it was a while ago, but I recently got my own standalone Blu-ray player. I used to use my Xbox. I have a region free one now. But anyways, that's Beastmaster. And this came in a cool box with like a booklet. It had like a magnet cover and stuff, but I fucked that up and didn't get one. I was like, I'll get it later. Gone. Next, we're going to move into another partner label movie, and this is Heavy Trip, about a fake black metal band called Impaled Rectum. Symphonic, post-apocalyptic, reindeer-grinding, Christ-abusing, extreme war pagan, Fendo-Scandinavian metal. So this is a comedy about a black metal band who I believe is trying to gets booked on a fest, like a big metal fest, and this is about their traveling to get to the fest, and all sorts of like stupid shit happens. In this offbeat road comedy from Finland, Turo is a misfit stuck in a small village where the best thing in his life is being the lead vocalist for an amateur heavy metal band. When Turo and his bandmates Yankee, Lotvanen, and Pasi receive a surprise visit from the promoter of a huge heavy metal music festival in Norway, decide the time is now or never to chase their dreams. After an awkward warm-up gig, the band, which chooses the name Impaled Rectum, hits the road and goes full metal, stealing a death van, transporting a corpse, kidnapping a new drummer from the mental hospital, and fleeing to Norway with authorities in pursuit to play their first real gig. So this just looked cool. This is a movie I've picked up and put down a couple times out in the wild. Like at Bull Moose, I saw it up in Maine. I think I saw it in Newbury Comics too around here in Massachusetts, but I finally, it was for sale, and there actually wasn't a lot left with the slip. So again, I got it for cheap. I know I'm gonna like this, but that's Heavy Trip, Impaled Rectum. I like how they spelled it wrong. That's so cool. Next is another like the next few are gonna probably be ones that are entertainingly good. Blades. Just when you thought it was safe to putt. So this movie looks ridiculous as well. The Tall Grass Country Club offers its members a luxury getaway with all the best in sport and relaxation. But when a mangled body is discovered on the club's prize golf course right before a nationally televised tournament, panic ensues at the possibility of a killer on the loose, and even worse, that the death might cause some bad press. enlisting the expertise of Roy, who has been a golf pro, along with disgruntled pro hopeful Kelly, to unmask the culprit behind the carnage. The club's hard-nosed owner soon finds himself with an even bigger problems when additional victims begin to turn up, and all the signs point to the killer being an out-of-control, bloodthirsty lawnmower. A highly original send-up of Jaws, with the makers of Girls' School Screamers, Thomas R. Rodanella's Blades, is goofy, gory, and more than a little bit absurd. Vinegar Syndrome presents the worldwide Blu-ray debut of this traumatic classic, freshly restored in 2K from its 35mm original negative, and featuring an in-depth making-of documentary. Blades. So it's a lawnmower that kills people. I'm not sure if someone's controlling a lawnmower, if it has a life of its own. Maybe a little bit of Maximum Overdrive vibes there. But yeah, it's Blades. With a cool slip. Slip sold me. I like the gloss here. The blood splatter gloss is cool. Next we have another. This movie was right. Mike, if he's still here. Yeah, I've been to that one a couple times. I go to the Portland one a lot, and I'm actually going to be in Portsmouth in the fall for something work-related, Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And they just moved to a giant location there, I guess. So I'm going to check that one out too. Bull Moose is a chain that's in Maine and New Hampshire that are these, they like kind of like hark back to the old days where they carry a ton of physical media, a ton of movies, a ridiculous amount of movies, new and old. And like they actually carry Vinegar Syndrome titles and Arrow titles and all like Synapse and all like the boutique label stuff too. Hey, guess what, Eric? I did not. So that's another movie that's left for the future sale. So next, Mike, actually, I'm stoked you commented here because I believe this was a recommendation from you. It's The Lamp. Yep. Make a wish if you dare. So I believe this movie has 2 titles. I'm not sure if it's going to be written. I can't remember what the other one was. Yeah, aka The Outing. So after a group of thieves decide to ransack the home of a strange old gypsy woman, murdering her in the process, they unwillingly free a vengeful genie named Jin, who has been held captive for centuries in an ancient oil lamp. Soon after, the lamp is acquired by a local museum, but as Alex Wallace, daughter of the museum's curator, decides to sneak a group of her friends into the museum after hours for a night of partying, she doesn't realize that Jin is looking for a new keeper and that Alex is a perfect vessel to carry out the genie's diabolical actions. Primed with an assortment of gruesome deaths and a very dark sense of humor, Tom Daly's The Lamp, aka The Outing, is a wild, Texas-lensed, mid-'80s supernatural horror gem starring Deborah Winters, James Houston, and featuring the voice of call actor Jackson Bostwick and the voice of the murderous genie Jen. Vinegar Syndrome is delighted to restore The Lamp on Blu-ray, featuring a brand new 2K restoration and extended makeup documentary featuring new interviews with its cast and crew, thus finally allowing the incredible story of the production to be told. Yeah, so Mike recommended this one to me. Again, it was for sale. It was one of the cheaper ones, the older title, $362. I mean, I say older, but not really. That is The Lamp, aka The Outing. Next, we have Nightmare Weekend. We're coming down to the end here. I only got 3 left. A weekend of relentless terror. Who will survive? A brilliant computer scientist has just landed work on his greatest creation, a supercomputer with the ability to transform the personalities of bad and disobedient people. In anticipation of sharing his work with the scientific community, the scientist invites a fellow expert to test the machine on a group of debauched young women. Little does he know that his colleagues intend to use the computer to turn their subjects into bloodthirsty mutants. Made by a French crew in Florida, Nightmare Weekend is a non-stop assault on the senses, head explosions, gratuitous nudity, and softcore sex. Bikers, roller skating, and telepathic hand puppet named George rank Nightmare Weekend among the weirdest and most jaw-droppingly absurd horror films of the 1980s. Long available only in low-quality transfers of the R-rated version, Vinegar Syndrome presents this forgotten trash masterpiece fully uncut in widescreen on Blu-ray for the first time. But yeah, this looked cool too. This was something I just grabbed. I believe this one was what number is this? Number 90. So this is an older one. It's got the cool slip on there. but so this was shot by a French crew, as I said, when you read the description, but they shot it in Florida. So I guess there's parts of this movie that just don't make sense. I might have been lost in translation. So I guess that comes up a few times, and it just looked insane. And then that's something like this is the kind of stuff that would entertain me for sure, for sure. Second here. Like sweating in here. It's hot in here. All right, never mind. Right. So next is another one that got praise from a lot of people, and it's like kind of just floating out there. But that's the severed arm. There's a psycho loose with an axe, his trademark, the severed arm. 5 victims cannot stop him, cannot escape the slashing fury, the sound of terror. So this is an older, I guess proto slasher maybe. I believe it's 7. Let me see. 1973. While camping, a group of friends become trapped in a cave. Desperate and starving, they draw straws to decide which one should suffer the severing of his arm so that the others can eat. But no sooner than making this fateful amputation, they're rescued. Through their unfortunate victim has been driven helplessly mad by the experience. Years later, the survivors all have moved on with their lives. That is until someone with a very sharp axe to grind begins stalking them and chopping off their arms one by one. A drive-in home video staple, thanks in large part to a notorious title and insane concept, Tom Alderman's The Severed Arm is a stylish and atmospheric murder mystery photo proto-slasher, starring Deborah Wally and Marvin Kaplan and Vince Martorano, featuring expectedly excellent cinematography by Robert Maxwell. Vinegar Syndrome presents The Severed Arm, fully uncut in its original disc debut, newly restored from a fresh 4K scan of its 35mm original camera negative. So this is like everything I read about this is like this is great, and there's tons of copies of it. Next, I have All American Murder. This one was kind of like an impulse buy. All American Murder. Artie Logan has a history of getting himself in trouble. He's been kicked out of every school he's attended and is no friend of the law, which makes matters extra complicated for his wealthy father, who happens to be a judge. Given one last chance, Artie is shipped off to Fairfield College, but when his new fling, a senator's daughter, Tally, is burned to death by an unknown assailant, suspicion immediately falls on Artie. Adamant of his innocence, he's granted a 24-hour period in which to unmask the actual culprit. As his hours of freedom dwindle, the killer strikes again and again. A twisted hybrid of slasher and giallo, All American Murder is a sole theatrical feature by acclaimed actor and TV director Anson Williams, and co-stars Academy Award winner Christopher Walken, Charlie Schlatter, and Josie Bissett. Tightly paced, suspenseful, and featuring an array of unexpectedly grisly murders, Vinegar Syndrome is proud to bring this underseen piece of early 90s horror to Blu-ray, newly restored in 2K from its 35mm interpositive. Yeah, so I heard this movie is insane. I heard it's there's lots of wild shit in it. It just kind of flies off the rails a little bit, but it looked cool. Again, it was for sale. It was a sale. Impulse buy. My son is very upset. And finally, we have Miami Connection. I knew you guys probably thought this was coming. This is one of the big ones that came out right before the sale did. So this comes with this cool box. Movie. It's in a slip. It's 4K. So this is an insane kung fu movie built around a band called Dragon Sound. Is made up out of 5 orphan and university classmates, all of whom are experts in Taekwondo, with a musical mission to share the importance of love and friendship. One of the band members, John, is engaged in a budding romance with Jane, sister of Jeff, a kingpin in one of Florida's toughest drug-pushing gangs. A resentful rival band enlists the help of Jeff and his crew of violent motorcycle-riding thugs to exact vengeance for their bruised egos. against Dragon Sound. The 5 best friends who are soon forced to put their fighting skills to the ultimate test, not just to defend themselves, but their entire community from the iron grip held over by these narcotic trafficking hooligans. An international cult sensation in tribute to the unwavering power of friendship, Wu-Sang Park and Grandmaster YK Kim's Miami Connection was the cinematic passion project of Florida-based martial arts teacher Grandmaster Kim, and combines explosive action set pieces, daring and elaborate fight sequences, and live musical performance from Dragon Sound. Featuring a cast comprised of Tim's students along with plentiful local talent, Miami Connection offers the best traits of regional exploitation filmmaking through the aesthetic of canon-esque 80s action, and finally comes from UHD to UHD from Vinegar Syndrome, exclusively restored in 4K from recently unearthed negative materials, and loaded with plentiful archival and newly shot extras. Plus, this edition includes the world home video debut of its long-lost pre-release version, Escape from Miami, which features numerous additional and extended scenes as well as a completely different ending. So this is like an action, super low-budget action film with like horrible acting, but earworm songs in it. And this came in the cool. It comes in the case. This is just cool. This is just cool shit. And the final thing is I got the Miami Connection cassette tape with the songs on it, which I cannot wait to listen. This will be jammed tomorrow, maybe later tonight. The Dragon Sound stuff. It's got a live thing, a karaoke version. The most novelty is the second greatest. Yeah, that's what I heard, and that's what I'm looking forward to. But that was my whole order. That was everything I ordered. Perfect timing. And I'm gonna take off because I have to go do dad things. But thanks for watching. I should be back with more videos in the future. This is let me like do the. There it all is. It's finally here. I don't have to worry about it showing up when I'm on vacation. I'll be back eventually one day. Thanks for watching. Get into it. Buy movies and films and other crazy stuff. And I'll do more vids maybe someday. It's hot. I'm sweating. I'm out of wind. This was hard. See you later.